primary. 7 Democrats on the stage and no clear frontrunner. Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders finishing on top in Iowa. Joe Biden coming in fourth, a make-or-break moment now in New Hampshire. And Elizabeth Warren on home turf tonight. Will she make a move? Also breaking, escorted from the White House. Tonight, the lieutenant colonel and combat veteran who testified in the House impeachment hearings about being on that phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine. Tonight, fired by the president. His brother, too, led out of the White House. John Karl is live. There is also breaking news tonight in the Kobe Bryant crash investigation. Authorities now revealing there was no sign of engine trouble. And a new focus tonight on the conditions and the pilot, what they're now saying. The powerful winter storm slamming major cities in the Northeast. Tonight, snow, ice, and dangerous wind gusts that could top 50 miles per hour. And now a new storm we're tracking tonight. Rob Marciano times it out. The Americans testing positive for coronavirus, trapped on a cruise ship. More than 60 infected, including at least 11 Americans. Hundreds desperate to get off. The school hazmat emergency late today. Teachers and students rushed to the hospital. The racist rant, the recording of a CEO inside an Uber. The driver asking him to sit in the back seat. And what happened next? And Harry and Meghan and their first engagement in the U.S. Harry reportedly revealing something very personal and what he said about his mother, Princess Diana.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Manchester, New Hampshire.
And good evening tonight from New Hampshire. We have a lot to get to, and we begin tonight with the crowd growing in this hall. Millions will be watching right here tonight as the Democrats face off on this stage behind me. The final debate before the first in the nation primary right here in New Hampshire. Local party leaders tonight are calling this the most consequential debate they've ever had ahead of the New Hampshire primary, given the mess after the Iowa caucus, given the fact there's no real frontrunner. Every candidate on this stage will try to make a move tonight as they try to make the case they're the best suited to take on President Trump. Arriving for his walkthrough this afternoon, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, after his surprise finish in Iowa, hoping to hold on to his momentum. Senator Bernie Sanders sharing the top spot with Mayor Buttigieg, hoping for an edge now that he's back in New England. And tonight, Senator Elizabeth Warren, who came in third, will look for an opening as well. Former Vice President Joe Biden, who admitted to a gut punch in Iowa. He took himself off the trail yesterday to prepare for this debate just a short time from now. ABC's Mary Bruce right here in Manchester, leading us off.
Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg both riding high coming into this debate, both top targets tonight. Just hours ago, Sanders sharpening his attacks, knocking the former South Bend mayor is being bankrolled by billionaires.
I like Pete Buttigieg, nice guy. But we are in a moment where billionaires control not only our economy, but our political activity.
Buttigieg is on the rise after Iowa, but not taking it for granted.
New Hampshire is not the kind of place to let Iowa or anybody else tell you what to do.
Buttigieg could also come under fire from Joe Biden, who admits his fourth-place finish in Iowa was a gut punch.
For this party to nominate someone who's never held an office higher than mayor of a town of 100,000 people in Indiana, I do believe it's a risk.
Biden off the campaign trail yesterday at home in Delaware to prepare. Today, shaking up his campaign leadership, expanding the role of top advisor Anita Dunn to include broader campaign strategy.
I'm not going anywhere. And I'm counting on New Hampshire. We're going to come back.
Also looking for a much-needed win, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, hoping she has near-home state advantage.
This is the moment to dream big, fight hard, and win.
Watching it all from the White House, President Trump, who is relishing the Democratic dysfunction.
They couldn't even take a simple tabulation, and yet they're telling you how to run the country and how to run health care.
A lot at stake tonight, so let's get right down to Mary Bruce. She's on the stage tonight where the candidates will be a short time from now. And Mary, a lot of scrutiny. They'll be looking at every word they say tonight. People will be looking at where they're standing, too. Who's in the center? Who's on each side?
Well, David, Joe Biden will be right here at center stage, and that's because he's still leading in the national polls. And tonight could help determine if he's able to stay there. Right next to him will be Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg. That is where most of the fire tonight will be directed. Now, on the other side of them, Senator Elizabeth Warren. Tonight, David, could be one of her last best chances to break through.
All right, Mary Bruce leading us off tonight. Mary, thank you. Of course, the candidates take to the stage here at St. Anselm's a short time from now, the final Democratic debate before the New Hampshire primary. I'll be moderating with George Stephanopoulos and Lindsay Davis just a short time from now, 8 p.m. Eastern, the ABC News WMUR debate right here. Don't change the channel. Meantime, the other news this Friday night at the White House, the Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman fired and escorted out of the White House. The National Security Council expert testified under subpoena about what he says he heard on that phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine. Tonight, the president has now fired him and his twin brother, who also worked at the White House. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman was escorted out of the White House today, fired from his job on the National Security Council after testifying under subpoena during the House impeachment hearing. Also shown the door, his twin brother, Lieutenant Colonel Yevgeny Vindman, who also works at the NSC. The Vindmans immigrated to the U.S. from the Soviet Union as young boys. Alexander Vindman, an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, told Congress he urged his father not to worry that he was speaking out against the president.
And why do you have confidence that you can do that and tell your dad not to worry?
Congressman, because this is America. This is the country I've served and defended, that all of my brothers have served, and here, right matters.
Earlier today, Kira Phillips asked President Trump if he was out to settle scores after his impeachment trial.
Your press secretary said your political opponent should pay. Who should pay and how will they pay?
Well, you'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens.
For Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, the writing was on the wall.
Mr. President, would you like to see Alexander Vindman out of your White House?
Well, I'm not happy with him. You think I'm supposed to be happy with him? I'm not.
Today, Vindman's lawyer issued a statement saying, quote, "The truth has cost him his job, his career, and his privacy. He followed orders, he obeyed his oath, and he served his country."
All right, Jonathan Karl also live here in the debate hall tonight as well. And John, we know Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman is still on active duty in the U.S. Army. And I know that the Secretary of Defense today was asked if he would be protected there.
Defense Secretary Esper David said, quote, "We protect all our service members from retribution or anything like that. But I am told that this will not end with the Vindmans, that the president wants what one person close to him described as a house cleaning of those who he believes have been disloyal." David?
John Karl with us tonight as well. John, thank you. There is also breaking news tonight in the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others. Tonight, authorities say there is no evidence of engine failure, and so now a new focus on the pilot and on the conditions. Again tonight, ABC's David Curley.
Tonight, what may be the last picture of the helicopter Kobe Bryant was aboard, disappearing into the Sunday morning fog and clouds in Southern California. No signs the rotors or engines failed. They appeared to be operating at the time of the crash. Witnesses hearing a normal-sounding helicopter, according to the NTSB report. Bryant, his daughter, and friends heading to a basketball game, along with the pilot. All 9 died in the fiery crash. In that bad weather, the pilot decided to follow a highway toward their destination. But as the chopper approached Calabasas, the fog was thick. The pilot telling controllers he was going to climb above the trouble. The helicopter does climb, but starts turning left. Then suddenly, a quick descent, more than 180 miles an hour as it continues that left turn, crashing into the hillside. A witness on the hill saw the chopper pop out of the fog and says it was rolling left.
Was it because the pilot was disoriented, didn't know which way was up, or was there a mechanical malfunction that caused a loss of control and doomed the helicopter?
So let's get to David Curley. He covers aviation for us. And David, I know there were also clues at the crash site that the engines and rotors were actually working.
Investigators say that they found it hit a tree before the ground. The rotors slicing through a 3-inch branch means the blades were turning before the crash, David. And we've also learned that this is going to take about a year to finish this investigation. Kobe Bryant and the others will be memorialized on the 24th of this month in Los Angeles. David?
David Curley on the investigation again tonight. David, thank you. And now to the major storm slamming the Northeast with dangerous winds right into the night. Gusts up to 50 miles per hour, whiteout conditions, and nearly a foot of snow in upstate New York. This is Utica, New York. Tornado warnings across several states. These images from Dickerson, Maryland tonight. And a state of emergency in Virginia after heavy rains, hundreds forced from their homes. ABC's Ariel Reshef in New York City, where wind gusts have reached 40 miles an hour.
Tonight, that powerful storm, now a developing bomb cyclone, bringing whiteout conditions to part of the Northeast. More than 10 inches of snow in Utica, New York. Roadways littered with wrecked cars. This after tornado warnings across the mid-Atlantic.
Seek shelter immediately. Don't wait, because this is moving very, very quickly.
High winds sending trees crashing into homes in Delaware.
You can see the roof caved in, the beams exposed, the siding dangling off of the side of the house.
Ripping off roof after roof in Maryland. The Burrell family's farm among those damaged.
It just got down on my hands and knees, curled up. It was so quick there, it was gone.
Destruction in this Virginia neighborhood, too. The Commonwealth declaring a state of emergency. Heavy rain and flooding displacing more than 500 people. All part of the same system that brought tornadoes and damaging winds to 12 states. At least 5 lives lost in the storm zone. A tree falling on this van, killing a Tennessee teacher.
And David, the winds are gusting here in New York City and temperatures are plummeting. The roads could freeze overnight, leading to some icy conditions in the morning. David?
Ariel Reshef live in New York tonight. Ariel, thank you. We know this goes well into the night, and now we're tracking another storm as well. So let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano timing it out. Rob?
David, this is a beast of a storm that continues to bomb out over New England, where they had winds 70 miles per hour gusting on the Cape. Same deal on Long Island. You can see on the radar the white is filling in, so that's where the cold air is, and it continues to pour in. So a blustery winter day tomorrow. A couple of more storms in the pipeline. The first one up had already brought 2 feet of snow to the Rockies. Winter storm watch is posted for the upper Midwest for Sunday for snow there, and then flooding rains in the south on Monday, and more rain and snow here in the Northeast beginning of next week. David?
Rob Marciano with us on a Friday night. Rob, thank you. We turn now to the Americans infected with coronavirus, trapped on a cruise ship off the coast of Japan. More than 60 passengers have the virus. At least 11 of them are Americans. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, desperation is setting in on board this quarantined Princess cruise ship off the coast of Japan, where 60 passengers, including 11 Americans, have now been infected with the coronavirus. Rebecca Frazier is one of them, but her husband tested negative.
He has to stay on the ship, so I have to go alone to the hospital. I can handle being sick, but the separation is definitely the hardest part.
One passenger describing the ship as a floating prison. Author Gay Corder and her husband Philip are reaching a breaking point.
We need to get out of here. We've been very cheerful, but frankly, I have to tell you now, we're becoming quite afraid.
Off Hong Kong, a second ship with 3,600 passengers is also quarantined. The virus has killed more than 600, and there are over 31,000 confirmed cases in China. But experts fear the numbers could be far higher. Here in the U.S., a scare in Bayonne, New Jersey, after the CDC boarded a Royal Caribbean ship to screen 27 passengers who recently traveled from China, a family of 4 hospitalized, one of them testing positive for the flu. The ship has now been cleared.
Just incredible. Gio Benitez joins us from New Jersey tonight. And Gio, we're still waiting for those coronavirus test results, but I know the cruise line is now taking action.
That's right, David. Royal Caribbean telling us that it is now banning all passengers who have a Chinese, Hong Kong, or Macau passport, regardless of when they were last there. And now Norwegian Cruise Line tells us it is doing the same, David.
Gio Benitez, thank you. There was a hazmat emergency playing out right here in New England today at a Massachusetts high school. The school was evacuated. Students and teachers were rushed to the hospital, and tonight investigators are trying to figure out what it was that sent so many to the hospital. Here's ABC's Diane Macedo.
We have an unknown odor caused by an unknown chemical with illness.
Outside this Kingston, Massachusetts high school, ambulances rushed dozens of students and staffers to hospitals after they reported feeling ill from a mysterious odor.
They've just felt really lightheaded and nauseous.
It started just after 10 this morning, with one teacher reporting the smell, saying she felt sick.
Room number 1111, inside investigation, suspicious odor.
Hazmat teams descended on the school, investigating the odor for hours, trying to pinpoint the source.
And I saw a girl get in a wheelchair, and she started getting rolled down. And then that's when we were all like, okay, what's going on?
By afternoon, the school was evacuated. Fire officials say 2 teachers and nearly 40 students who reported symptoms were brought to local emergency rooms. David, the school is set to undergo a deep cleaning over the weekend. Fire officials are still investigating what caused this odor, but thankfully they say everyone affected is expected to be okay. David?
All right, Diane Macedo, thank you. And next here tonight, the longest sentence yet for a parent in the college admissions cheating scandal. A federal judge in Boston sentencing former investment firm CEO